Welcome to the April 2024 recap. My name is Scott Galloway, Police Chief. This is a monthly recap and forum to keep you informed of what's going on at the Lafayette Police Department and what's happening inside our community. So first I want to talk about strengthening our community connections. So throughout April I had the pleasure of attending several public events as a guest speaker, and these interactions truly reinforce the deep appreciation our community has for our dedicated police officers and staff. During my visits to several neighborhoods, I was consistently impressed by the positive feedback I was getting about our officers. So residents in these areas were really commenting about the respectful interactions our officers have, waving, genuine communications, and this is a testament to the professionalism of our officers and the service they provide. And it's a privilege to be part of such a remarkable organization. I was also able to attend the Ivy Tech Criminal Justice Scholarship Award ceremony, and we were really honored to be a part of that and present an award for an officer that used to work here, Bill Mellick. He tragically lost his life to a battle with cancer, and this year Bill Mellick's scholarship was presented to a deserving recipient. It was really nice to have Officer Mellick's parents in the crowd for the ceremony, and it's a moving tribute to a fallen hero to have this scholarship named after him. It's a powerful reminder to the commitment we have to supporting future generations of criminal justice students. The first thing I'd like to talk about are shootings. It's very important to us to make sure we're really addressing significant critical incidents in our community. So we'd had two shooting events this month. One of them was an attempted robbery where a shot was fired, and it was a drug deal gone bad. And in that event, we had an arrest made, Darius Buchanan. We also had a shooting incident where a resident was targeted for retaliation from a prior robbery. That is an ongoing investigation. Those were the only two shooting events. We don't like any of them, but as you can see, they were investigated thoroughly. One is still being investigated, and we made an arrest on one of them. Both of these incidents were not something that was random. These people know each other. Most of our shooting incidents, I can say, are people that know each other. They're in some sort of a conflict, whether it's domestic, drug deal, gun deals. The fact of the matter is Lafayette is safe, and we are doing everything we can to drive down shootings and put people in jail that are participants in these activities.
Hello, I'm Joe Clyde. I'm the captain of the Detective Division with the Lafayette Police Department. On April the 10th at 1:36 a.m., the Lafayette Police Department responded to a rape report that occurred on Underwood Street in North Lafayette. Patrol officers who initially responded realized the suspect had fled the scene and secured the area. Patrol officers located several key pieces of evidence and contacted the CSI unit or the Crime Scene Investigation Unit. The Crime Scene Investigation Unit arrived at the scene and also located several key pieces of evidence associated with the crime. Detectives came in to the scene, spoke with the victim, witnesses, and other people in the neighborhood. The Lafayette Police Department requested the assistance of the Indiana State Police Crime Lab, and we asked to expedite several key pieces of evidence, which was then rushed to the lab. Over the next few hours, the investigation revealed that 25-year-old Preston Mendoza was the suspect. Preston Mendoza was located by detectives the day after the rape, and he was taken into custody without incident. Mendoza is currently being held in the Tippecanoe County Jail for the charges of rape, a level 3 felony, burglary, confinement, and felony intimidation. The determination of Preston Mendoza as our suspect involved every division of the Lafayette Police Department working together quickly. And the department would like to thank the members of the public for its vital assistance in this investigation. On April 17th at 5:26 p.m., the Lafayette Police Department responded to a sexual assault that occurred near 6th and Union Street. A victim stated she had gotten into the passenger side of a vehicle when a male approached her and began speaking with her as the door was open. After a short time, the male that had approached her then sexually assaulted her. The victim and the driver of the vehicle were able to successfully close the vehicle door and drive away from the suspect. Patrol officers were able to identify the suspect because they recently dealt with him at another location and were familiar with him. The suspect was also identified by a criminal analyst at the Lafayette Police Department. The suspect identified was Levi Foster. Detectives located Foster the next day, walking in the same area the crime had occurred. Foster was taken into custody without incident. Foster is currently being held at the Tippecanoe County Jail on the charges of attempted rape and felony criminal confinement. The identification by both patrol officers familiar with Levi Foster and the criminal analyst brought about his quick apprehension and arrest. Lafayette Police Department would like to thank the public for all its assistance in these investigations. The information provided by the public is vital to our investigations and making arrests. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Amor with the Lafayette Police Department. I am currently the SWAT commander that oversees our whole SWAT team and its operations. Some of you may have noticed on the April 4th during the early morning hours, you might have seen some of our SWAT trucks out and about. And to give you an idea of what goes on and what happened that day specifically, SWAT was activated in a pre-planned operation involving persons that had been involved in both gun violence and child sex abuse material. Lots of planning goes into operations like this. It involves multiple other teams outside of SWAT, like, for example, our crisis negotiation team, our drone team, and other resources also get prior staged so that they can be available in case anything were to not go as planned. In this case specifically, with that information in mind, SWAT was activated. Upon breaching the door, announcements were made. CNT was able to make contact with persons inside and were able to help negotiate a peaceful surrender of persons that were involved. Later on, other people did exit the residence and everybody was taken into custody without issue. Patrol was a valuable asset as usual. They are the resource that we are supporting in order to do things like this. SWAT gets activated for a great many reasons, but one of the main reasons we do get activated is because of child sex abuse materials. We have discovered both locally and federally when we do statistics and analysis with this, that there is a higher propensity of violence when you involve things for both persons of arrest warrant and then also searching for evidence of those types of crimes. We do get activated for other things, obviously gun violence and things of that nature as well, but in this case it had a little bit of both.
Moving on for a little bit more of statistics, we put out a statistical representation of last year, 2023, to this year, 2024, monthly. And a couple of that were key and critical that I noticed. Calls for service for 2024 were down month of April from last year. 911 calls were down from last year. We did take 4% more incident reports during the month of April 2024 opposed to last year. Shootings were down 50% from April of last year. This year we did notice an increase in mental health, up 13% mental health calls. Those can be anything from suicidal calls to somebody in crisis. So in order to combat and help with mental health calls, our officers really are great at doing CIT calls, and CIT is critical incident training. We make sure all of our officers attend that training. And to enhance our capabilities of helping the community with mental health crisis, we have 2 new civilian employees that we've recently hired and brought on board the police department. Adam Murphy, who is going to be our resource navigator, and Amanda Ferguson, our homeless outreach coordinator.
I'm Adam. I'm the community advocate and resource navigator. I work with LPD to do follow-up with households that have law enforcement interaction. We're trying to connect people to resources so they can get the help they need.
And I'm Amanda. I am the Homeless and Community Outreach Liaison, and I help LPD with anyone that they find that's experiencing homelessness. And then we run a 28-unit program that we also help with case management on those clients.
Also this month, we're happy to announce we had 4 officers graduate from the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy, 232nd class. Ryan Crosby, Jackson Garrity, Jacob Hostetler, and Jack Lamberson. Officer Barr and Officer Linder have been released from the FTO program. That's about a year's worth of training by the time you're hired, academy training, field training. So congratulations to those 2 officers. It's always an exciting time to be released from the program and being your own officer. Really cool for those guys. In April, we celebrated Dispatcher Week, ACO Week, which is our animal control officers, our volunteers, and our administrative staff. So April was a month of celebration to recognize those officers and those staff members that are behind the scenes a lot of times. They deserve that recognition. So this month we spent a lot of time planning the solar eclipse event and the NCAA tournament. It was exciting to see the Boilermakers in that. That was a great month, a great run for them. I was really it was a fun season. So we're glad that those celebrations went smooth. I know West Lafayette did a great job planning, Purdue and the county all participated in those planning events. Fortunately, there were no incidents in Lafayette, and West Lafayette and Purdue did a great job. So this year, we were proud also to have 5 officers receive the 2023 Top Cop Award from Drive Sober, recognizing the dedication that they have with 20 or more OWIs. OWI arrests are critically important. Those are the kinds of things that can happen to disrupt the family, can be tragic. So anytime that an officer does an OWI investigation, it's lengthy, it's a lot of paperwork goes involved in it. So to have 5 officers do more than 20 is great. Great work, and we don't want to see any OWIs because we don't want anybody drinking and driving, but unfortunately people do make those wrong choices and do drink and drive. I would urge the public to, with Lyft and other options to get home, don't drink and drive. It's stupid. We also had Henry Ayala celebrate 5 years of service. Thank you for his dedication to the department and the community. 3 podcasts were released this month: Bullying Breakthrough, Animal Control, and Dispatch in Depth. Looking forward for the month of May, we have the National Police Week ceremony. We're going to celebrate that on May 13th at Memorial Island in Columbia Park. Anybody's welcome to attend that event. It's going to be 11 o'clock a.m. It's a ceremony to recognize fallen officers in our community. The LPD has 4 officers fallen. The county has 2 officers that were fallen. And we will be there to recognize those officers and officers who sacrificed for their communities. Kona with Cops will be on May 25th, and we are planning a LPD street party to celebrate and commemorate our 1-year anniversary in the Public Safety Center. So look forward to all those things on social media. We'll continue to provide these monthly updates, keeping you informed about LPD's activities in the community and our safety initiatives. Thank you for your continued support.